Pyongyang, 2003. Your mother's oxygen machine hums in a one-room apartment. 17 days of unpaid hospital bills on the counter. A government envelope on the table. One acceptance letter, one career path, one way to keep her breathing. You didn't choose medicine to serve power. Power chose you because you chose medicine. Level 1, Medical Recruit. You are 23 years old and newly assigned to the state health apparatus. Not a free clinic. Not a university hospital. A government intake program that processes candidates for special administrative health roles. You don't fully understand what that means yet. Your days begin at 5:45 a.m. You review files. You pass written exams on pharmacology and surgical protocols. You are tested on discretion before you are tested on diagnosis. Evaluators ask you questions with no correct answer, then watch how you sit with the silence. Your clearance level is low. You see very little, but you are being seen constantly. Failure here means reassignment to a rural post with no equipment and no future. You learn quickly that in this system, the right answer is usually the quiet one. The envelope that brought you here has already sealed something shut. Level 2, Facility Physician. You are 26. You've been posted to a restricted government medical compound on the northern edge of the capital. The building has no visible signage. Patients arrive without names on their charts, only numerical codes and assigned handlers. You treat minor conditions, colds, fatigue, stress-induced hypertension. You ask nothing. You document everything into a system you cannot access from outside the compound. Your supervisor reviews every note you write before it is filed. You are given a better apartment, a car allowance, a phone with monitored calls. The risk is invisible but total. One wrong notation, one misread symptom, one question asked in the wrong tone, and your file changes category. You start sleeping differently. Then one afternoon, a handler tells you that next week, your patient load is changing. Level 3, Assigned Personal Physician. You are 29. You have been selected. The selection process involved 3 weeks of background review on your family, your debts, your relationships, your political history back to childhood. You passed because your record was clean and your mouth had stayed closed. Your patient is now singular. One person, high-ranking. You learn only what you need to know about their medical history. Their previous physician retired abruptly. You are not told why. Daily function, morning vitals, medication management, dietary oversight, weekly blood panels. You travel when they travel. You stay close when they are unwell. You carry a bag at all times. You sleep near a secure line. The power is strange. You now have access to rooms most generals will never enter. But you cannot leave your post without authorization, cannot speak to family about your work, cannot be sick on days when you are needed. Deviation from protocol, even minor, is classified as negligence with political implication. You stop thinking of yourself as a doctor who made a choice. One morning, you are handed a second file, a supplementary case, classified above your current clearance, and told simply to read and be ready. Level 4, Medical Confidant. You are 32. You now know things. Real things. Not state propaganda, not managed briefings. Actual physiological truths about the person who controls millions of lives. You know what they fear losing. You know how close certain numbers on a chart have come to catastrophe. This information does not make you powerful. It makes you dangerous to yourself. Your communication protocols change. You are issued a new secure phone. Your outgoing calls are reviewed by a separate unit. You are briefed by a political liaison before and after every major medical event. You are told what to record and, more carefully, what to omit from the official record. A senior colleague pulls you aside one evening after a late procedure. He tells you that a previous physician documented something he shouldn't have. He smiles when he says it. He doesn't say what happened to the physician. You understand that you are no longer just treating a body. You are managing a political instrument, and your silence is now a form of service. Level 5, Crisis Physician. You are 35. There has been an episode. Serious. The kind that, if it became public, would destabilize the government's image of permanence. You handled it. 12 hours in a sealed room. No external staff. No record transmitted off-site. Afterward, you were given a commendation in a private ceremony attended by 4 people. No one speaks about what the commendation is for. Your role now expands beyond treatment into management. You begin coordinating with a small internal team, a pharmacist, a logistics officer, a foreign medical consultant who arrives twice a year from a neutral country under a cover identity. You manage imported medications that do not appear in any domestic supply chain. You sign for shipments using a code designation, not your name. If the medications go missing, if the chain of supply breaks, if something goes wrong during a crisis and the outcome is not managed, the failure belongs entirely to you, regardless of cause. You have not spoken to your mother by phone in 4 months because her line is now monitored as an extension of yours. A foreign specialist departs after one visit and you are told, quietly, that he will not be returning, without explanation, and that you will absorb his protocols. Level 6, Shadow Medical Director. You are 39. There is no title on your door, no org chart that includes your name, no medical board that knows you exist in this capacity. But 3 other physicians now report to you. A small team. Each of them was selected the way you were. Each of them knows only their own lane. You set the protocols. You decide what gets documented and where. You brief foreign dignitaries' medical staffs when there are joint summits, using scripted language reviewed by the political office before you speak it. You have started conducting your own loyalty monitoring, watching how your team members react when small inconsistencies appear in supply logs. Once, you planted a minor error to see who would report it and who would fix it quietly. 1 physician reported it. 1 disappeared from the team the following week without discussion. You did not ask what happened. You already knew. The weight of this knowledge does not announce itself. It settles into the routine until you realize you no longer remember practicing medicine the way it was taught to you. Then an external audit team from a neighboring ministry begins requesting historical health records, and your name is not on any of them. Level 7, The Keeper. You are 44. You are the only person outside the innermost political circle who knows the full medical truth of the leadership, the conditions, the timelines, the realistic prognosis. This makes you, in a functional sense, one of the most sensitive assets in the state apparatus. You do not attend meetings. You are not photographed. There is no record of your current role in any accessible government file. Your identity as a physician has been administratively restructured. On paper, you retired 6 years ago. You move under a different surname now. Your old apartment has a different occupant. Your mother passed 2 years ago. You were not permitted to attend the funeral. You manage contingency plans. What happens medically if the leader cannot appear publicly for 30 days? What happens if there is a sudden incapacitation? You have prepared the documentation for 3 different scenarios. Each scenario has its own cover narrative. Each one required you to consider outcomes most people are not allowed to think about. The political liaison who has managed your oversight for 11 years stops appearing at your briefings. A new one arrives. Younger. He does not know your history. He reads from a file. He asks you to verify your protocols from the beginning. You understand what a new handler means. Level 8, Containment. You are 47. The raid does not look like a raid. It is a security rotation. 2 men arrive at your residence at 6:10 a.m. with administrative paperwork. Your files are requested for a review of state medical archives. Your secure phone is collected for technical maintenance. You are taken to a facility you have never seen. Not a prison. A secure administrative compound. There is a desk. There are meals. There are no windows. There is no timeline given to you for how long this review will take. What you know is too specific to be released, too sensitive to be left uncontrolled. You are not charged. You are not tried. Charges would require a record, and records would create disclosure. Instead, you are processed into a category of person that bureaucracies sometimes need, contained, not eliminated, but permanently removed from the living world. Your colleagues from the team are gone. Not dead, as far as you know. Just gone. Restructured. Scattered. The new physician assigned to your former patient has a different surname, a different face, and a file that begins cleanly from this year forward. The medication protocols you built for 11 years are now running under someone else's authorization code. There is no trial, no photograph, no official statement. You were never the doctor's name on any of those records. You were only ever the hands.